Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name's Hillary, and I decided to do a 2025 wrap-up. I did a wrap-up video last year, and it just I felt it kind of helped me wrap up the year and kind of transition into the next year. Now, we've got a lot to go over, but I have to warn you, so during the summer, I had to take air conditioner breaks because it was so hot. Well, today I'm going to be taking bulldozer breaks because they're working on the property. I think I've mentioned the property has new owners, and they're doing a ton of work, and it's amazing. It's great. But right now, they're doing bulldozer work in where we live, and I'm sure you can hear it, and you'll see the camera shake, and I'm trying to talk over it, but they work non-stop, and even on the weekends, so we're just gonna have to deal with it, and I'm just gonna have to talk louder as he gets oh, we're shaking. I'm just gonna have to talk louder over the shaking. Can you hear it? Yeah, the whole camper is shaking right now. He must be really close now. He's going back and forth. They're putting in, making the road bigger and stuff, and now the motion detectors are going off. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we gotta keep going with this because they don't stop working. They work all the time. But he's going back and forth, compacting some dirt and some rock that they put in yesterday. I thought today would be a better day to film because yesterday they were delivering rock and moving it around, and today they're packing it down, and I thought I started early enough. So just so you know, here it comes again. We may have to take some bulldozer breaks today if I get too annoyed. Anyway, let's get started, and we'll just have to deal with that. So, a lot happened in 2025. Some good, some not so good at the end. I'm already getting emotional. Let's start with the monthly crystals. If you don't know, the monthly crystals videos that I do, that's my favorite. That is what this channel was planned around, and I love it because I get to spend a whole month with the crystal, focusing on it and learning about it and working with it and all the things, and then I get to tell you about it. And one of the things early on that really kind of annoyed me about crystal YouTube channels is everybody just lists, the properties of a crystal. They don't tell their experience or anything like that, and it just felt, I would get bored, honestly. Everything they would list, I can look up in my books and all that, and it wasn't fun. So I wanted to do videos and let people know, yeah, here are the properties, but this is my experience with them too. So in January, I started off with citrine, and I love citrine now. And I found that because of working with that for a month, there are some crystals in this pile that my opinion has totally changed. And citrine, I used to use it, just as a for manifestation, because it's really good for manifestation. But this is such a happy crystal. It is such a sunshiny crystal, and I chose it for January because I knew that I wasn't. It was cold in January, like it's gonna be cold this January, and I needed a happy crystal to bring in the sunshine. And it's definitely, I will probably be pulling it out again this January. And then in February, I worked with Crazy Lace Agate. I have bought more I think I've only bought 1 or 2 more pieces since then. But it's such a great grounding crystal. This was another one that, you know, agate is, I really like agate for grounding. But this one was just, that video, it helped me appreciate it more. In March, where is it? Oh, I'll just pull it off of here. I worked with Goldstone, and I have a bunch of Goldstone, and apparently I couldn't find it to add to, so I had to pull it off of the manifestation board, because I use it for everything now. I have it, I use it a lot. Here in a couple of weeks, you'll see that I now own Goldstone earrings. And I just love Goldstone. I know it's man-made, and I don't care. It's beautiful, and it makes me happy. Put it back over here. It's also my new favorite manifestation and good luck crystal. It's also good for motivation. I've bought more, and you can see that that's the only one that I know where it is, except for the earrings, and they're in my ears right now. I am still looking for like a tower or a pyramid. I want a point Goldstone, and it's funny because I can't find one. Well, I found some, but I wasn't going to pay the price that they were wanting. Apparently, after my video, everybody else wanted it, and the prices have gone up. Anyway, we got to keep going. This is going to be a really long video. I think the bulldozer went away too. Nice. Okay, in April, I did garden quartz. This is another really good grounding crystal. I love looking at all the stuff inside. I've got some pieces of garden quartz in storage that are just amazing. I haven't bought more because I have so much in storage, but it's just so much fun to look at garden quartz. Let's see, in May, I worked with malachite, and so at that time I only had this piece, and I've since bought these bigger pieces. Malachite is so heavy. If you wear malachite jewelry, you are amazing. I think this size here is about all I could stand for like a pendant, but I've seen people wear malachite earrings, and that's just crazy to me. Anyway, malachite is really good protection crystal. And then in June, try not to knock stuff over, it's rainbow fluorite. And this is one of those that my opinion of the crystal changed after working with it. This is my chill out crystal. It balances energy. I haven't bought more, but I do use it a lot more now, the pieces I do have. And I've got some really cool pieces in storage for it too. And so this is from later in the video. I realized I forgot obsidian is the crystal I worked with in July. And I forgot to, I knew that it wasn't in my boxes, and I forgot where it was. So I totally skipped over July. I'm sorry. But I'm correcting that now. So in July, I worked with black obsidian, and holy cow levels of protection. I've since bought a tower that I should have grabbed, but this video is kind of all over and I've got a huge mess, so it's fine. But it is, if you need an intense protective crystal, this is black obsidian is a good one. And then in August, I think it seems like white howlite was just not too long ago, and it was August. So in August I worked with white howlite. Now this is an example of not all crystals working the same for everyone. After I did the video of the white howlite, of my experience with it, And, you know, my experience was just kind of eh. A lot of you said how much you love Howlite, and there's so many of you that use white howlite how I use amethyst. It's the crystal to keep you calm, and um and that's great. I haven't connected with it very. My connection isn't very strong with it, and that's perfectly fine. I still use it. I like to put it in like workspaces. Just it does seem to kind of work then. Just carrying it on me, just it didn't have the same effect as it does for a lot of you, and that's great. I really like that, and I really like when all of you tell me your experiences, and it's kind of fun that, you know, my experience with white highlight was and some of you just were very adamant that it was you, that was your crystal for calming, and that's great. I love that. Okay, after, see, August, so September, is this the only piece? So September was Tiger's Eye, and this is the only piece that I could apparently find. I can't even find my white or my Tiger's Eye pendulum. So I've got it everywhere. It's just being used in different places. Anyway, Tiger's Eye, I love it. It's great for manifestation and protection, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And this piece is a lot of fun. It's a great crystal. And then October. Now let me get my other hand. October was Petrified Wood. And if you haven't watched that video, go watch it, because it was amazing. It's so supportive, and it's great for ancestry work, and I will use it every October or any other time that I want to do ancestry work, or just that I need the support of my ancestors, you know, a hug or something. I was very happy with that one. November was Moonstone, and it's so good for emotions, especially when they're all over the place. And if you watch my Moonstone video, or pretty much any video in the last few months, you know that my emotions have been kind of all over, and this was great. And then December was Jade. That's the next video I'm going to record, so you haven't seen that one yet, and it'll hopefully come, it'll probably be the next video. So you don't know yet, but it's good. I liked it. I've got a bunch in storage that I can't wait to really use. I've got a bunch of smaller pieces. I couldn't find them. Oh, I had. Huh, I have a pendant somewhere too. Anyway, it just seems like when I work with a crystal, I really connect with it. Then I go to do a wrap-up video and I can't find it. That means it's gone into my practice. It's busy doing something, and I've been wearing the bracelet. Even I switched crystals a few days ago, and I've still bring out the bracelet. And this egg shaped is really fun, except, you know, it doesn't, it has to be, I don't know, blocked in by something, which is why I had the bracelet around it. So after the monthly videos, if I have a hard time finding them, that means I have fully committed to that crystal. It's amazing, and it's working in other areas. So another big part of 2025 was the crystal recommendations for fictional characters. I started doing that last Christmas, Um, and I started doing that towards the end of last year. And I've done like Scooby-Doo and Supernatural and stuff like that. And then Lisa Pepez made a comment one time about the court cards in the tarot having personalities. And I thought, well, that'd be fun to do. And she put out her book, Unlocking the Tarot. The way her book was written was perfect for one, for understanding the cards and the personalities and all that, but it also helped me do recommendations for them. So that was 6 videos, and it was a lot of work, but it was so much fun, and it helped me with my understanding of especially the court cards, because like I've said many times, I'm very novice tarot reader. I I have trouble with the court cards, and doing that series has helped me. I'm not saying I'm great at it yet, but it definitely helped. And I asked her first just to get her okay to do that, and she said it was fine and great, and I really appreciate her for giving me the okay to do that. And it was so much fun, but it was a lot of work. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from that series, the crystal recommendations for fictional characters, for a little while, just because I need to I just need a break. It was a lot of work, and I think it'd be a little different if it was real people, but like, could ask questions. But I just had to go off of, for one, it was pretty much just going off of her book, so I couldn't ask questions or watch a movie or something. But it was still fun. Another big thing I did, I started reviewing, we have to zoom out. I started reviewing books. I did Judy Hall, The Crystal Bible, and I've got all 3 volumes. I highly recommend, if you are interested in getting to know crystals and you want one with really good pictures, start with the volume 1, The Crystal Bible. 2 and 3 are great for me because I do more with crystals, and I want all of them. The volume 1 is pretty the most common crystals, and then 2 and 3 are more specialized and more rare. Now you'll see the flags are crystals I have. You'll see volume 1 has the most tabs, and then 2 and 3 have some, but not as many. So that kind of proves too that volume 1 is definitely, if you're pretty new and just getting into it, you really only need 1. Now if you're like me and obsessed with crystals and want all the crystals, then definitely get 2 and 3. And then I also reviewed Scott Cunningham's Crystal, Gem, and Metal Magic. I love this book. It has so much information. The only thing I don't like about it is there's only this little section in the middle of pictures, and that's it. So I really like how much information his book has, but the lack of pictures is a little sad. I also did some deck reviews. I was asked about if there were any like oracle decks I recommend because there's so many crystal themed oracle decks out there, and everybody wanted to know if there were any I used or recommended. So I've had the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle by Judy Hall forever. It was one of my very first decks. It was the deck that really taught me how to use a deck, and how to do readings and put it all together. And so of course this is the one I recommend to everybody, and have recommended as really the only one I knew. So I thought, well, I should go ahead and try some more decks. And I got the crystal reading cards, and this is my new, if I'm using a crystal divination deck, this is the one I recommend now, this crystal reading cards. I love it. It's great. It's super easy. I recommend this one. And then there was this crystal grid deck. It's not for you could use it for divination, but if you're, it is so cool. If you're getting into, oh yeah, it's got the box. If you're getting into crystal grids and want to just learn about them, this deck is perfect for all that. Also, I thought about a trip that we just took recently, right before Christmas. We were in the middle of the trip and realized we needed some crystals for a certain situation. We had to go find a store to buy crystals, and I'll have that video coming up in a couple weeks. I actually recorded it first before this one, but it'll come in a couple weeks, and show you what I bought there. But I thought this, even if you just took this little box and to travel with, that'd be a really good idea. And I'm going to try using it more for like impromptu crystal grids. One example is if you need to charge a lottery ticket or something like that. Maybe set and pull out some manifestation, good luck crystals from the deck and put it on top of the lottery ticket, and maybe that'll work. It's creating a crystal grid, or you could create the grid and then put the ticket on top or something. I don't know. Maybe you need to send some healing work to somebody. You could take a picture of them or write their name on a piece of paper and do the same thing. Either set the cards on top of that picture or piece of paper, or on top, either way. But this deck I think is really, really good for learning about crystal grids. Another thing I really got into this year and have done some videos on are, whoa, I'm gonna have to find that one. Oh, I gotta explain that here in a minute. Okay, so I thought since I'm big into crystals, I should try using crystals in divination, because I understand crystals, I'm connected with crystals. That makes sense. And you know, we've got the crystal oracle decks, and those work. But I thought I should actually try using the crystals in divination. So I had some pendulums, and I started working with them more and got more connected with them. My husband made this little pendulum board for me. I sell this on my Etsy store, and it works. I love using the pendulums. Now, sometimes they're a little mean. This amethyst one is very ornery. If I'm asking serious questions, I don't use the amethyst because it's gonna mess with me. The Kambaba jasper is pretty straightforward. And so it's the black tourmaline. I have a tiger's eye pendulum somewhere. I have no idea where it is right now. Oh, I think I do know where it is. Anyway, I can find it later. So that one is very serious. And it's, if I'm kind of him-hawing about something, it pretty much calls me out and says, you know, if you're not gonna listen to me, or if you're not gonna follow what I say, then we're done. It's very serious. So then I tried the thing where you take some like smaller crystals and put them in a bag and pull them out, and then you kind of like the charms, and you can get a divination reading that way. The problem with that is I'm too connected to my crystals. For one, even like the little ones, I can tell by their shape which crystal they are, because I've bonded with my crystals so much. You know, even if I pull out all these, oh, there's a tiger's eye. I was looking for tiger's eye earlier. So I can, you know, when I'm feeling around in a bag, I can feel what crystal they are, and that wasn't working. And I'm drawn, because I use crystals in healing work so much, that doing it for divination, instead of pulling out the answer, I was pulling out what crystal I needed in that situation, what crystal energy I was drawn to. It wasn't working. So that led me to charms. And I love the charms. They are so much fun. And I can, you know, there's one thing about the charms is there's, unlike like a tarot deck or even an oracle deck, there's, you know, in those there's a set meaning. With the charms, it's what it means to me, and I understand it more. And yeah, you can, to a certain point with the artwork and stuff with the tarot deck, you do the same thing. But to me, I'm still so focused on knowing what the artist assigned a meaning to that piece of art. With charms, you know, these were manufactured just to be the shape that they are. You know, the person that made this cat on the broom meant it as a Halloween thing, or, you know, the Ferris wheel. Maybe somebody created it to make a pendant for somebody that likes Ferris wheels, or maybe some nautical person for that. Somebody that likes to build stuff with hammers. So the artist that created these, there's no intention set on what the meaning is. So these are totally what my meaning, what it feels like to me. And then I found this bag, and it works perfectly. And then I found these spoons for stuff, for something different. I'm like, that works really good for stirring. And I can scoop them out, and that's a lot of fun to do. So the charms, I combined in the Finding the Fae work that I did earlier this year. I combined the pendulums and the charms together, and that's my system. And pretty much during that work, that's what the message I got was, this is my system. If I need answers, I still love tarot cards, oracle cards, Lenormand's cards. I still love all those, but if I'm needing direct answers, a pendulum with my little pendulum board and charms are my go-to. I was going to save it to the end because it's going to make me emotional. But I decided we're going to end with the gnomes to end on a happier note. So this is the crystal grid that I made in my last crystal grid video, the emergency update one. And it's, when I was taking it out where it kind of got all sorts of messed up. So it's not, it doesn't look great. But, oh, there's the obsidian I was looking for. When we found out our dog had cancer, a really bad form of skin cancer, I redid our crystal grid. And there is a lot on this crystal grid. And I added this little pamphlet thing, this zine. And it's got sigils in here. And then it's got, let me hold it here. On the inside of it, what the intention of each crystal is for, and the intention of the charms that I added, and then the intention of, so the zine is purple because that was Clover's color, and then the heart grid because that's, my husband made it for me, so it kind of represents our little family. So I redid the crystal grid and added all the things, and then Clover passed away in November, and it still sucks. Now, this crystal grid wasn't just focused on her. It was focused on all three of us. Me, my husband, and Clover. So there was a lot on this little board. And honestly, it was too much. I would highly recommend not putting this much into a crystal grid, but we needed it. And yes, she passed away, but some of the intentions in here, it worked. There was stuff to help with our health, and some of that has gotten better. There was comfort for all of us, and some grief stuff, decision making, protection, peace, just all sorts of stuff. And I will say, one of the is it selenite? I think it's selenite. I thought it was selenite, but I don't see it in there now. I thought I wrote it down in here. Anyway, one of them was to reduce, one of the intentions or properties of that crystal is to reduce tumors. And Clover did have, when she started chemo, she ended up with a big, huge tumor in her belly and the one on the back of her head. And those went away. So I totally believe that this little crystal grid was helping us and helping her. But hers, it was just too bad. And she passed away. But when she passed away, she wasn't suffering. We knew it was time. And she never got to the point where she was just miserable. And she wasn't feeling good, but she was never at the point where it was just too bad. She knew she was loved. And we were comforted and protected and just supported. And I believe, even though not everything went how we wanted it to, I believe this little crystal grid helped us. And I'm very happy for it. Even though it was given a very large list. I believe it helped us. And I'm glad I created it. I am going to redo it. Today is the first day I've been comfortable. It's been in the same spot since I placed it. And today was the first day that I was actually mentally ready to move it. And I'm going to put the crystals away, and I'm going to sit on it for a little while before I create the new one. I'll do the video when I do it. So this time was the first time I've ever added the charms, and I loved that. I loved having the charms on here. And it just, there was so much, there was just so much that this little grid had to do, and I think having the charms on there was just an extra part of it. And then this little zine. Now for this, when I redo my manifestation box next spring, I'm going to use this to add, or not this one. This one's going in a special spot because this was Clover's. So this will, but I'm going to create a zine to go in my manifestation box, and then from now on I really like this idea of creating this and then having it underneath the crystal grid. That, I think that really, oh my gosh, there's clover hair and stuff. I think that really helped. And I used to just put it on a piece of paper and put it underneath or in the center, fold it up, and then put the clear quartz on top of it. I really liked having this underneath, and I'm going to do that again. The next part we're going to talk about is Fae work. So if you did the Finding the Fae or watch my Finding the Fae, you know I love my little gnomes. So these little guys, I bought a bag of different colored gnomes. These are the 5 colors coming in, because I thought it'd be hilarious. My family knows I love gnomes. They've contributed to my collection. And I thought it'd be fun to, when I go visit them, to hide these little guys around their house, so that they just randomly find little gnomes all over their house. And since I bought them, I haven't been able to go see my family, but I've started mailing them when I have to mail them packages for something. I include them in. It's only been to my brother, well, my sister too, because I sent her some stuff for Christmas, and neither one of them have said anything, and they don't watch these videos, so I can tell how I'm going to torment them with them. But I'm sure that once I go visit them and hide gnomes, I'll hear about it. So that's one fun gnome thing I'm going to do. Right now, I feel like my gnomes are gone, that there aren't any outside. During the summer, I felt them outside, and I had all my little gnome figures outside, and I decided to put them away for winter because I didn't want them to get damaged or lost or anything, or more sun faded than they have already gotten. And around that same time, it felt like they weren't there anymore, and I missed them. And so these little guys have also kind of helped with that. But I'm hoping this summer that they'll be back. Now, the property where we live, like I said earlier, is under some major construction. There's a lot going on. There's roads and buildings and bulldozers and rock, and it's just loud, and except for right now, which is really nice. So the property where we are is very chaotic and very just kind of crazy. And watching, have I mentioned, I think I've mentioned it just recently, Summer and Star, Summer from Astariasen and Star from the Wild Witch, they do a podcast every month the Fae podcast, and after their one in December, I kind of got to thinking, and I I kind of tried doing some pendulum work, and the I don't want to go too much into it, but the word I got, I can't remember what it is now, but when I looked at the meaning of it, it was chaotic and disorderly, which to me meant it's too chaotic right now, and they'll be back when things calm down, which I hope calms down before spring so that they'll come back. But anyway, even if, you know, I've got to take a little break, or they need to take a break from me, I'm still loving working with them, researching them. I've got my little Fae journal here that I started putting together. In Summer and Star's last video, they were talking. Star was talking about the Tomte, so I started researching them, and oh, that was just the 2 pages. And they're like a gnome for the home, and so I'm hoping to start working with them too. And also, I found this little travel gnome. His name's Herman, and he's going to help us while traveling. I thought it'd be fun to have a little travel gnome, and he went with us on our little trip before Christmas. And it was fun having him along. I didn't take him out much, but I think he still had fun. That was a really short trip, and kind of just a little. We were on just just kind of didn't really have a set plan of what we were doing and when, and so it was still fun. And I think he had fun, and I think he actually helped us a few times too. Anyway, I think that was everything for 2025. Let me do one more reset, and we'll talk about what's coming in 2026. Right, so in 2026, we are going to still do, I'm going to try to pull this out of my pocket, the monthly videos, monthly crystal videos, because like I said, it's my favorite series. It's the reason for my channel. And right now I am carrying Mookite. This is the piece I'm carrying right now. And for 2026, I really want to focus on what I need. And like crystals that I've been saying that I need to work with, but then keep putting it off. I think I really need to start doing that this year. And Mookite has been one of those. And it's just it's a fascinating, beautiful crystal. Now, February, I am very seriously considering rose quartz. I haven't decided yet, but that's on the list of possibilities. And if you've watched my channel, you know that it's kind of a big deal, because I don't connect with it, I don't think. Now, I may work with it, and it may be one of those, like I was talking about earlier, that may change my mind. So, that's pretty much going to stay the same. And of course, like I was saying before, my gnomes, I'm going to work with them as much as I can. I am going to do some more crystal grid work. Because we still live in the small space. This one is about the only one I can do as a permanent fixture type one, and I think it worked really good where I had it before. It was kind of out of the way. It was right where we are all the time, and it worked good. I'm not ready to redo this one yet. Like I was saying, today was the first day that I've actually been mentally ready to pull it out of its spot. And I bumped it and it moved around and everything, so it's kind of a mess. And I didn't feel like fixing it for the video. It being a mess was the way I worked through talking about it, even though that section's going to be an editing nightmare. So I'll read you my crystal grid here, and then do some more. I kind of like the thought of taking certain circumstances or situations and thinking about what the crystal grid I would put together for that would be. Kind of like the crystal recommendations for fictional characters, but in a more, what's the word I'm looking for? More, I don't know, serious. I don't know. It just, like that, but, practical, I guess. More practical use or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I might try experimenting with that a little bit and see how that goes. And I'm really liking doing the crystal grid stuff. And it's, now that I've really, doing all the research before I started doing crystal grids, throw all that out. Everything that I've learned in the books and from the experts and all that, and just going with pretty much how I work with crystals all the time is what feels right, what I like, and what works for me. So there'll be more crystal grid stuff. I am going to do a deep dive into chakra work. I was started planning to do the deep dive because I kept getting messages to do so from some of my divination stuff, and I thought it would be fun to do. I'm not going to do like a big explanation on the chakra all together. For the videos, I'm going to focus on the crystals that would help with each one. So the funny thing is when I was started planning that, I was also getting messages to wait, that I was going to get some help. And Selena from Essence of the Moon has started, she's doing the root chakra all year and doing a massive, some big work on that, and she's sharing her videos with that. So knowing what she's doing, I now know why I was supposed to wait and what the help was going to be. And so that's going to be fun. Mine are going to be completely separate from hers because I'm not going to just focus on one for the whole year. I'm going to keep going, but I am going to follow along her work. And my videos, I probably only do like one video per chakra and really focus on the crystal part of it. And I really haven't totally figured it all out yet because I was waiting. And there'll probably be like a video and then a couple months later another video. It's not going to be like a monthly thing either. But be sure to go check out Selena's. I'll put a video to, I don't know if by now she's done another one, but I will definitely put the intro video in the description below, so you can go check that out. Another thing, I have one more deck to review. I've had this deck about the same time as I got the crystal grid deck, but then things got crazy, and it didn't feel right to start working with a new deck and to focus on what I thought of it during that time. So I've saved it. I haven't started working with it still yet. I've opened it and kind of gone through them a little bit, but I've got one more deck, and then I don't know if I'll do any more deck reviews. If something comes up that I just think is great, then I'll share it. But I don't want to get to the point where I'm just buying a deck just because it says it's a crystal deck. If there's one that you recommend and you're wanting to know my opinion on, I'll definitely look into it. But I'm not going to just start buying decks just because it says it's crystal related. I'm finding that, you know, I connect more with the real crystals than I am the cards. Now, like I said, the Judy Hall deck and the other deck, the crystal reading cards, I've really connected with those two decks. I will have this one, and I don't know if 2026 if I'll have any more. One thing I do really want to do, though, is... Oh, we're going to zoom out. More books. This is the one I am currently reading, The Witching Stones by Nicholas Pearson. The forwards by Devin Hunter. I'm slowly getting through it. Holidays kind of... I'm in back here now. I'm almost done. I want to do more books, and I'm okay with if a book is about crystals, buying it. That's totally different than, you know, the decks. So if there's a book about crystals you're wondering about, let me know, and I will definitely look into it. Like the other one, the Judy Hall book, and then the Scott Cunningham book. Those are older books. This is the first one that it's a fairly new release that I've done a review on, and so I think that's going to be fun. And I want to do more crystal books because it's, you know, I want to keep learning and get different perspectives. And reading this book kind of it kind of reminded me that there's different ways of working with crystals and different perspectives and stuff like that. So that's been, it was a good reminder, and I want to do more book reviews on crystals and give you recommendations on books like those. The Judy Hall and the Scott Cunningham are really, really good beginner books. This one's not so much a beginner book, but we'll get into that when I actually do the review. Alright, the camera decided it needed a break, so we took a break. So another thing I'm going to be doing heavily in 2026 is my positive energy journal. January is the official start date. But like I said in my December video, December was my experimenting, and this was amazing. I had so much fun, and this was just like the bare bone, or the general prompts. I didn't have the themes, and I've already started working on my January. I'm still working out layout. I'm finding that I really liked that I figured out the layout in December, but because I combined 2 months, now I think I'm trying to get too cramped. So I'm adding more, trying to add stickers to kind of remind me to not squish everything together. So, but I've already started working on my themed prompts, and now as I'm recording this is New Year's Eve, so I'm gonna wait for the go outside part, and I've gotten my message for the month. I've already figured out what crystals are in my pocket, and I've actually added a couple charms, and this journal is making me so happy. I love it so much, and it's doing what I wanted it to do, and it's good. Oh, I got a little bit of bleeding. I may have to start combining 2 pages. We'll see. It is pretty thin. The first one was fine, but I guess, I don't know. We'll see. I'm still figuring things out, but it's good. I like it. it's doing all the positive energy vibes that I wanted it to. Another thing I want to do in 2026 is work on, try to do the VRs. And it's like the tarot community VRs, where I turn a tarot themed one into a crystal themed one. My next video I'm going to record, oh no, I gotta do the jade video next. So eventually, today, I'm going to do Miss Carla's VR. She did, I don't have it, enchanting decks? Yeah, enchanted decks. And I'm going to do enchanted crystals. So you'll see that, that might actually be the end of January. I may have to start doing 2 videos a week once in a while just to get caught up. But I want to do more of those because those are a lot of fun. And I did Courtney's, the Penny Dreadful ones, and that was so much fun. And the one for Carla, that one, picking out the crystals for that one, that was so much fun. So I can't wait to show that one too. But I can't do them all because there's some that are very much tarot related, and I just don't think I'm gonna be able to do as many as I want. But I can do some fun ones like that. And I also want to do, when I started doing the crystal recommendations for fictional characters, I kind of got away from the like taking all of my crystals for a certain topic, like grief. See, I've done all my crystals that I would recommend for Thanksgiving get-togethers, students, stuff like that. So I think I'm going to focus less on the recommendations for fictional characters, which are still fun and I still want to do once in a while. I think doing the tarot ones kind of burned me out on it though. So, but I got away from the other, all my crystals for those certain things, and I want to start doing that more in 2026 because those are really fun and give a lot of ideas. So, and of course, we're going to go with lots of crystal serotonin in 2026. Star from the Wild Witch did use that word in her Elemental Foundations video, the Earth one, and now I say it all the time because it's so much fun and it's perfect word. So lots of crystal serotonin in 2026. And if there's any topics you want me to cover, any questions you want me to cover, let me know. I'm up for giving. I want to make sure you get all the information you want about crystals because crystals are so amazing. So that's it for this video. I'm sending you lots of positive energy and thank you for all your support in 2025. I really appreciated it. I've got a huge mess I need to clean up, and so I'm going to go put those away and record some more videos. I'll see you next time.